This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for May 9, 2023. And in the news this evening, woman accused of swindling football sponsor freed after mediation agreement. A woman who reportedly tried to scam the sponsor of a Montego Bay-based football club of over $600,000 was freed by the St. James Parish Court on Monday after a series of mediation sessions with the complainant. Tracy Hackett, 49, of a Granville address, was before the court on the charges of fraudulent conversion and the 17 counts of conspiracy to defraud. According to court documents, the complainant is a sponsor of the Granville Football Club, of which Hackett is the president. On several occasions, the complainant would make payments for transportation for matches outside of St. James for the team. However, it was later revealed that the club did not play any games outside of the parish during the 2022-2023 football season, and that Hackett had collected the payment for her own benefit. A report was made and Hackett was subsequently arrested and charged. During Monday's court hearing, presided over by Parish Judge Sasha Marie Smith Ashley, it was revealed that Hackett and the complainant had struck an agreement using restorative justice. As a result, the prosecution offered no further evidence against Hackett. You are discharged and you may go, hopefully, having learned a valuable lesson and that you will never walk this path again. You have been given a second chance, Smith Ashley told Hackett before granting her permission to leave the courtroom. Police release identities of St. James double murder victims. The police in St. James have revealed the identities of the two men who were shot dead during an attack on Crawford Street in Mount Salem in the parish on Monday afternoon. The dead men have been identified as 35-year-old Gavin Mills, otherwise called Butty, and 23-year-old Bow Dower, otherwise called Evil, both of Mount Salem Road, St. James. A third man was also shot and injured during the onslaught. According to police reports, about 12:30 p.m., the three men were standing along the roadway when men alighted from a white motor car and opened gunfire, hitting them. They were taken to the hospital, where Mills and Dower were pronounced dead. The third man is being treated. Detectives assigned to the Major Investigations Division are probing the circumstances surrounding the deadly attack. Woman facing multiple charges after scuffle with the police. A 35-year-old woman is now facing a series of charges following a confrontation with a lawman from the St. Andrew North Police Division last Thursday. Kadeen McLeish has been charged with being armed with an offensive weapon, obstructing the police, indecent language, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and assaulting the police. According to police reports, at about 4 p.m., officers from the St. Andrew North Police Division were conducting a stop-and-search operation in the area when McLeish approached them as they searched the three men. She was reportedly holding a pair of scissors in her hand while verbally confronting the officers. She also refused to drop the weapon when she was instructed to do so. The situation escalated when officers attempted to arrest the McLeish, who physically resisted and damaged one of the officers' uniform in the process. She was subsequently apprehended and charged. She is scheduled to appear before the St. Andrew Parish Court on Wednesday. Vice Principal sudden death shocks Green Park primary. The celebratory Teachers' Week spirit has been dampened at the Green Park Primary School in Sandy Bay, Clarendon, following the death of beloved Vice Principal Audrey Hills Edwards on Monday. It is with a heavy heart that we join in mourning the loss of our dear and valued colleague and Vice Principal, Mrs. Audrey Hills Edwards, who transitioned from this life this morning, the school said in a statement Monday night. It is a difficult time for our staff and students, as Mrs. Edwards has been with this institution for over 25 years. We are still in shock, and at the same time, we are trying our best to cope, the statement continued. The news understands that Hills Edwards was found unresponsive at her home by her husband on Monday morning. She was rushed to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Many have taken to social media to pay tribute to Hills Edwards, who they described as a stellar and motivational educator. Hills Edwards was the wife of Howard Edwards, the vice principal of Glenmore High, also in the parish, and the sister of Donovan Hills, also a vice principal at Glenmuir High. Government condemns a rape threat allegedly made against the journalist at the PNP headquarters. The government says it strongly condemns any attempt to intimidate, threaten, or harm media workers while they carry out their duties amid reports of threats of rape being hurled at a journalist during a protest at the People's National Party headquarters on Monday night. In audio of the incident, a person who is alleged to be a PNP supporter can be heard saying, "Me can rape you now." It has been reported that the comment was directed at a female journalist. It's also alleged that journalists were heckled for wearing green clothing to the PNP headquarters. In a media release on Tuesday morning, Minister with responsibility for information, Robert Nesta Morgan, expressed deep concern over the reports. These actions represent a serious attack on press freedom and require swift and decisive action against those responsible, he said. Morgan alleged that senior members of the PNP were present during the incident, and he has urged them to report those responsible for the threats of rape to the police. He said they have a responsibility to do the right thing, to not only protect Jamaica's reputation as a country that ensures a free press, but more important, the safety of law-abiding Jamaicans doing their jobs. Morgan also called on opposition spokesperson on information, Senator Donna Scott Muttley, to speak out on the matter, noting her strong comments on press freedom last week. This government is committed to press freedom and media safety. The PNP opposition must embrace a modern approach to media and turn its back on a well-documented past of intimidating, attacking, and threatening media workers, he added. Monday night's incident took place as a person protested at the PNP headquarters to register their displeasure at the selection of Dr. Alfred Dawes to represent the party in St. Catharines South East instead of councillor for the Edgewater Division Alric Campbell. 2 killed in Jones Avenue, St. Catherine. 2 men were reportedly killed Tuesday morning in a section of Jones Avenue, St. Catherine, known as the Backlands. Their identities had not been released up to news time. The bodies were found at separate locations in the area. Residents say about midnight they heard gunshots and went to investigate. The body of a 21-year-old man was found. A Toyota Probox motorcar was also seen on fire. The owner of the vehicle, which was reportedly firebombed, said he had earlier heard the gunshots but went to investigate after hearing his car alarm and the sound of a fire truck in the area. The auto electrician said all his tools of trade were inside the vehicle, which was destroyed. A few hours later, the police were called back to the community when the second body was discovered inside a house close to where the car was firebombed. The deceased is believed to be in his 60s. A resident of Backlands has called for stronger police presence in the area, saying this will help the community to feel more protected.
Well, about 12 o'clock last night, I hear gunshot firing, and about half hour after, I hear the fire truck come, so I come down to investigate because I hear my car alarm go off, and on arrival, vehicle was in flame, lose everything.
We need more police present down on the back part, yes, sir. Because at all times I don't hear so coming like I problem, so for sure you even want to go on. If anybody don't hear so a problem, then all of this wouldn't go on. So we need more police presence down here, so make we feel more protected.
So what you hear last night?
Be a gunshot. I know if find out that 2 innocent residents just gone, so big man, hard working mechanic and young youth just achieving a life, I excel himself. Yeah man, so I just said that. We just
What's the mood like in the community?
Peaceful community down a Backland here, so. Loving set of people, them all the way are one down here, so. This way happen right now, just shake up with community.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.